All right, green, black, rock. First, what in the heck does the rock refer to? Here's a long form description in chat from the bot here in a second. So the rock was originally a type 2 deck, which is a standard deck around Urza's block. It was based around Birds of Paradise in a card called... What was it? Phyrexian Plague Lord. And the people referred to the deck as the Rock and his minions. Basically, it's just old Magic jargon. And in general, we refer to interactive green-black, sometimes with a third splash color deck, as rock decks in Magic. The key features of a deck being considered a rock deck are generally good removal and individually powerful cards. So cards like Shifting Ceratops and Thorn Lieutenant, Rotting Regisaur, just cards that are on their own that are incredibly powerful. One of the things that's really neat about this deck that's leveraging out of M20 is something this format's kind of lacked previously. It's one of the things that makes Teferi such a good card in this format, is that Knight of the Ebony Legion and Elvish Reclaimer are both pretty reasonable 1-mana spells that this green-black deck gets to play. And a lot of the more mid-range decks in this format, historically, so far since the last rotation, have lacked quality 1-mana spells. So by having more 1-mana spells, Teferi's impact is less felt by a deck like this because it's able to get multiple things into play, even if it's on the draw. So if you're on the draw and you go 1-drop, 2-drop, and their first play is Teferi, you still have something to attack and kill the Teferi without needing a haste threat. One thing that I kind of going into this deck thinking about is I'm not convinced that this card is good in this deck. Like, this is just a big dumb beater, and a lot of the time decks like this want to have cards that don't generate card disadvantage, and they want to have a little bit of utility with them. So for example, this generates card advantage, or something like Cavalier of Night. Something like Midnight Reaper could be good too. That's another card to think about. I am going to play a couple of matches, at least with this Rotting Regisaur, so we can kind of get a feel for like what it's doing. Occasionally, cards like this, when they don't look good on the surface, they end up surprising me. So, I think we want to play some games with it before we just write it off as not being playable. But this deck explicitly does not really have a good way to take advantage of the fact that it's making us discard cards every turn, so it feels like that drawback could be pretty significant. The Rotting Dino will be great in Modern. I don't know if I believe you. I wonder if this would be a fun card to sideboard in Grishelbrand. You just like board in a 7/6 that's a discard outlet. That could be kind of funny. We're on the play. Well, so like I wouldn't main deck this card, Dude Light, but post board in Modern, especially against combo decks, games actually tend to slow down when people board in their hate and mulligan for it. So this is a card that can like enable a graveyard combo, but also just attack people. Yeah, some kind of green-black stompy deck where we're playing this card on turn 2 off of Llanowar Elves could be sweet. This card also could fit in with cards like Gutterbones or Reassembling Skeleton, perhaps. Yeah, I could see it being good in Legacy, because this is like a card that just enables those Reanimator decks' primary game plan, but also as a backup plan for when your opponent draws their graveyard hate. A 2-drop is everything I wanted for Christmas. My takeaway from the format is that the Elementals cards seem really sweet. I really hope they end up in something competitive. And like here, right, like I get to drop this into play, and hopefully it's gonna kill them, but if it doesn't kill them, it's gonna chew through our hands here. In fact, I think I'm probably discarding this Cavalier of Night, because I'm probably not gonna be able to cast it before this card chews out my hand. Yeah, if they're playing Elementals, this could put them in a really bad spot. Like when we played Elementals, these really big creatures felt bad for us. Yeah, Teamer, this might just be like a card that just destroys Teamer on its own. This is my first stream today with M20 Bushus. So yesterday, most of the login services were down, so I wasn't able to get in. Some streamers were able to get in, but I was not. It was a regional issue, I believe. I don't know. How many games have you played, Topto? Like, I agree with your assessment that it has some awkward tension there, but I also think it sounds like you're, like, trying to write it off without actually spending any time testing it, which in my experience tends to be a mistake. Yeah, they're actually just they have to jump block, right? And like this is like I said, like we talked about the 7/6. Like if the 7/6 had just been something small, had just been a small creature, they probably would have been more than fine, right? But the 7/6 just like hammered them into the ground. Probably don't need Pulse. I like my spot removal. Noxious Grasp seems good. They've got green. Like, they've got, this kills their mana creatures, and it kills, Omnath, and killing the elemental that draws cards is really important. I haven't played with or against the Espermentor deck, Kid Joyce. I don't know that I really have a good opinion on it. Need a couple of cuts here. What are we trimming? Liliana Dreadhorde might be, some of this top end might be a little bit too slow. Her edicting, double edicting is probably good. This seems fine. Give it a go. Hey, Rylan, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That was a very fast Big Dumb Dino. That game was a good example of why I would like to try that card out with some Elvish Mystics. Or Llanowar Elves, whatever the kids are calling it these days. I don't think Bag of Holding is playable in a format where Teferi exists. Because if Bag of Holding gets bounced to your hand, the cards under it are just gone. Hey, the kid Joey, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We're going to throw away this Field of Ruin and grab a Temple of Malady. I mean, honestly, we're probably not going to play against that much Teferi's in the next 3 or 4 days. Like I said, people regularly focus on working with new, interesting cards rather than the old ones that they know are good.
Can't believe Mother Ludi gave us homework.
Hey, Courageous Squid, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. No, I think you're right, Percy. After that first game with the 7/6, I think a lower to the ground curve with more dinos and like Llanowar Elves could be very reasonable. Like cut the Planeswalkers at the top end. Like Llanowar Elves into 7/6 into Shifting Ceratops is like sounds like a really good curve. I'm gonna put another Temple of Malady into play here. Try and scry for our 4th land for these.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're so cute. Rude. Rude. Yeah, the Omnath animation is sweet. For sure. Perfect. That card is basically this deck. Tarmogoyf, cut the fancy card advantage and run them down. Yep. Yeah, I feel like maybe you just play like a couple of the black elemental at the top end, because he gets your 7/6 back, which is sweet. Yikes. This is a good sequence on their part.
Remember this one?
My cat is concerned. I agree, kitty. I agree. Things are not going particularly swimmingly over here for Team Hogland. Alright, so do I contempt this and then hope to hit land to do Liliana double edict? I think that's the play. Or do I actually care about this card? Do I just contempt this turn? I think I'm just gonna contempt this turn. No, first match 1, game 2, Thunderwunk. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable assessment. We only really care about Chandra if they draw Reef. I'm worried about counterspells. I don't think so. Oh, that's such good synergy. That's such good synergy, chat. Some good deck building. Who figured out to put those two together? I'll put all the elemental friends in the same pile. Omnath can only put +1/+1 counters on elementals, so Omnath Incubation Druid is not a combo, unfortunately. That'd be sweet if it was, but it is not. I'm gonna do this. I think I want to do this.
Time to sleep for a week.
Yeah, I think I'd be surprised if some iteration of the elemental deck is not competitive.
Bunch of new burn spells to try on you. Say hi to my fiery friends.
Well, that trophy didn't quite work out. Is this Chandra a teenager or a college student? I mean, those are the same thing a lot of the time, right?
Good help is easy to find in war.
Why would I want to attack here? Tom? I love that we get foil tokens now. That's exciting. Kill Chandra and then Edict. No, I think I just want to make a 2-2 here. Yep. Yep. So it's gonna let me draw a card.
Fight fire with fire.
Yikes. Yikes. Is this the Dota Underlords card game? Yeah, exactly. Valve's really expanding the Dota universe. Don't you think a Dota card game would be really successful? They should take that IP and branch out a little bit, I think. I think there's a chance that a Dota card game could be wildly successful. Thanks for the 36 months, Philly. I appreciate it. Yeah, Relic. Relic could be a good name for the Dota card game. I could believe that. Relic's a good, strong sounding card game name. Hey, Fantasy Zen, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For keeping me around. What if it required 3 tables to play? Who would design a card game that takes 3 tables to play? That sounds completely idiotic and nonsensical. Why would anybody do that? I think I want to keep drawing cards here. Artifact failed for a couple of reasons. The first is that, and I know this is subjective, but on a fundamental level, Artifact was not fun to play. Artifact, the way Artifact games tended to play out, Artifact felt like you were taking a competitive math test and not in a fun way. It was like, Artifact was like doing rapid fire 2nd grade math constantly. It was a math test in a way that was incredibly tedious. They also decided to copy and paste the MTGO economy model, which the MTGO economy model is a big part of why MTGO is ultimately not successful. Yeah, as someone who loves math, me telling you that it was not math in a fun way, you should take that.
Putrid, but effective.
Yeah, they just picked the land up that I'm targeting, though. They have 2 ways. The people that are asking about the Field of Ruin, they have 2 ways here, and then I just lose my land because they pick it up in response. What do I want to Contempt here? I would have snapped off the Living Twister. Do I attack with this at Chandra? And then, like, they make blocks and I blow them out in combat with the Contempt? Is that reasonable? Probably not, because they'd go, like, block, block, pick up a land, throw a land. That's probably not good enough. I think that's bad. Like, every turn, my board gets guaranteed better on the back of Liliana Dreadhorde. So, if my top decks are just at parity with their top decks, we're getting ahead here. So, I don't think there's a reason for me to be overly aggressive when I'm gaining more card advantage every turn than they are.
Study? Focus? I just want
Yeah, we're gonna cast this. I know what this card does. Incubation Druid made red mana. I think I'm just gonna get rid of this Incubation Druid. I can eventually attack this down, and unless they hit Risen Reef, this card's not very good. Maybe I'm supposed to take out a Living Twister there because I could draw another removal spell. Oh, you know what? Do I just downtick this now? Yeah, let's just do that. This kills my zombies and lets me draw 2 cards. That seems pretty good.
From battle to the grave.
Oh, they could kill a zombie and make me sacrifice Regisaur. I'm really, really glad that they also missed that line. Because I thankfully, I also missed that line. Listen, chat. Sometimes you just gotta stare them right in the eyes and make the bold play, okay? It's gonna work out for you, I promise. Alright, so they could theoretically pick up 2 lands, throw 2 lands at this, and then trade with the Living Twister, but I'm like super far ahead at that point, right? They could also pick up lands and throw them at Liliana here. Yeah, that's true too. But the fact that we drew 2 pieces of gas there and like this was gas for the turn as well is like... Does the Dino come in foil? I'm not sure, actually. And a lot of the cards in this set are mixed into the stupid Mastery tree, so I'm not... There's ones that even come in foil that you can't quite get yet because you have to, like, earn them. Yeah, play M20, get you 3 free boosters if you're into that sort of thing, which if you're in this channel, you probably are. Hey, Mr. McChillin, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting my content this month with that. Oh god, she drew me another card. And it was a good one. Oh. Yeah, I think we're gonna kick it up to 4 of this card after this match, just to try it out. This card, I'm really glad we played a match with this before just cutting it, because this card was sweet. The rest of this week is gonna be straight standard on Arena Hider. Starting next week, I'm gonna build some Underlords into my regular schedule. Alright, I'm going to run to the restroom really quick, and when I get back, we're going to play a whole bunch more with this deck and a bunch of other things. So thanks for hanging out, folks. Don't go anywhere. I got gifted a sub last month and enjoyed chatting so much, I figured a real subscriber was worth it. Well, thanks, Pure PCare, for the re-up, and I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Okay, so I think I want to take this and drag... I think I want to take this and drag the curve down a little bit so we can be more aggressive. I might want some of these in the sideboard from when we want to, like, board up. I want to place out a Llanowar Elves. I think I want 4 of these. I think I want a second Cavalier of Night, perhaps. How many lands? There's 26 lands in here, which is probably too many. $24 with Llanowar Elves is probably good. What are we... Are there any other good 2 or 3 drops? It could be a Midnight Reaper deck could be... Midnight Reaper could be okay in here. This is a reasonable card to get back with Cavalier. What do we think of the look of this? Maybe this is even too much removal in the main. Like, is 5, like 6, 7 pieces of removal enough? Like that Thorn Lieutenant and the Midnight Reaper in here. Real decks have curves. It's a pretty clean curve, huh? These insulate us against sweepers. I don't think I can afford more tapped lands. I've already got even 4 Temple of Malady might be too much with how much I packed the curve down, honestly. I think I'm gonna get rid of one of these. And go up a forest here. This is 11-17 black. What's the Hyper Geo on casting the 5-drop? Oh, I'm gonna see like 12 cards or so. Like 80% or so to cast this on. Cast this on 5. That's probably fine. This might be too many Mobilized District, but creature lands tend to be pretty good in decks like this. Maybe I just want it to be a colored source, though. Maybe I just play one of these as a utility to fetch with this. It could also be that, like, this isn't a card that I want in here anymore if I'm trimming down on this. What about Gutterbones? Is this reasonable? Is this the droid I'm looking for? This is good with Cavalier as well. It's soft combos with this in the mid game. It's like fine with Midnight Reaper. I mean, the rock archetype is always a deck with an aggressive slant. Now, I think that's too slow, Tom. Alright, let's round out the sideboard here really quick. What in the heck do I want this sideboard to be doing? Probably don't need a third Contempt, Cruelty in the last trophy. Big Vivian in the board. I could see Big Viv being okay. I think I'd rather have Disfigure than Moment of Craving for the sake of mana efficiency. Liliana seems okay as, like, its other mid-range decks. Maybe just one is fine. Do I want Pulse against Mono Red? Maybe. I think I'm already oversaturated on 2-drops. Like, I think these 2-drops are better than the other 2-drops you're suggesting, Tom, and like in terms of card quality. And I'd rather like max on these before I put bad cards in my deck. All right, let's give this a try. And again, like the curve on this looks really elegant. Sounds sweet. It's like got a good mix of heavy hitters and reasonable cards. And again, like when you're thinking about cards like this deck's goal is to be like a card quality deck. We want as many of our cards to be individually powerful as possible. And I think the only card we're not really playing that doesn't classify as like individually powerful is probably Llanowar Elves. And like Llanowar Elves helps us accelerate into our other beaters faster, which is nice. Lower on the curve also means our hand gets empty faster. So to make the drawback on the 7/6 less bad. Yeah, I could see Arcbow being an okay card. Legion's End is the weird, not quite Bio Blight, right? The one that like surgically extracts the creature, like takes it out of their hand or something. I feel like I'd be surprised if that card was good, but like a pseudo-aggressive start here. Attacking for 4 on turn 3, getting more power on the board. Deck of the day so far, probably Temur Chandra. How long until Arena's not in beta anymore? Probably a long time. Companies like to leave beta tags on their products, especially ones that are already making money, because the beta tag's kind of an excuse for if a bug happens, they're like, oh, we told you it's a beta. Ah, the 1/3, my 2/2's greatest enemy. Elemental is good. Omnath's really powerful. Card's doing a lot for a reasonable investment. Oh, are we on the bubble? I didn't even notice. Wasn't quite paying attention. Well, I think I Contempt this and then smack them. Because, like, if they have Jadelight Ranger, there's no way we aggro through that. What do you think about legislation that makes it so beta software can't take money? Yeah, I think that's fair. That would be fair legislation, Brad. Like if you want to call your software pre-release, you're not allowed to sell it. Which is funny, when I've been talking about Underlords, that's one of the points I like to bring up, that like that application is actually in beta. They're like rapidly developing features and still figuring out what they want to do with it, and balance stuff is changing a lot. Whereas like Arena, the core gameplay is here, they're just slowly adding features. Calling it a beta at this point is kind of silly. Huh. I think I just Contempt here. This is like relatively aggressive. Opponent's taking forever here. Opponent's played for 3.5 minutes, and I've played for 30 seconds so far. We really want them to draw at least one land here. So these are going to trigger this turn, which is sweet. I think I just let this happen and then, like, go Ebony, Ebony, Thorn. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Photon. It would stop companies from selling beta products, which is effectively what they do. And, like, sure, people would, like, claim things are released, but then you would quickly learn which software companies aren't making good software, right? Like, not to trust their actual releases. Now, I think I want to get Thorn Lieutenant down, too. I guess I'd have hit them for 2 more, so maybe that's valuable. Maybe. I don't know, that could go either way. If I hit a land, I get to threaten to +4/+4 these next turn, which seems valuable.
Surges through these lands.
I don't know. I'm not interested in arguing the semantics of it. It's mostly semantics. Just like the current case in point is, and again, one of the things that's happening here is something that actually happens in politics and policies a lot of the time, which is that people are saying this suggestion isn't good because some amount of people would circumvent it and make it look bad. Something that I can't instill in you enough if you're going to be part of the political process at all is don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Just because a change doesn't fix every problem that could possibly exist doesn't mean that change isn't meaningful or worth trying, because it could likely fix some of the problems. Change in major ways is always gradual. Alright, so I've got Noxious Grasp, they got a bunch of green stuff. I think I want to trim Contempt here and, like, drag my curve down a little bit. I think that's probably fine. Maybe I trim, like, a Thorn Lieutenant here while I'm bringing in more removal. I think I want to leave my top end in. The death of the political center for exactly that thinking. Your style of play seems faster than even MPL players I've seen. Is speed something you purposely work on or did it come naturally? It's a mix of the two. So, in paper Magic, you have an incredibly small amount of time to play because you have to, like, sideboard and shuffle and all this other stuff in addition to playing Magic. This hand's fine. Casting Assassin's Trophy on 2 kinda sucks because it ramps them early, but especially on the draw. So hopefully we draw, like, our ideal draws of this hand are like land plus a 2-drop on 2. So we can curve out naturally here. Yeah, not a problem, Ferrets. And they've mulliganed to 5 here, right? Does it tell me on the screen anywhere how low they've mulliganed? I feel like it should, because some of the times the reason why I keep my hand is because they went to 6. One of the things Arena desperately needs is an in-game event log. That would be ideal. Perfect. There's a land. Like I said, if we're a professional, we'll draw a 2-drop creature next turn. Yeah, the deck name The Rock harkens back to a time when decks had names like Panza and other silly things, Celiflid Breakfast. Things of that nature. It was not a simpler time. It was a much more convoluted and stupid time, and we soon realized that we should name decks descriptive things instead of snappy catchwords. Trick, Sly, Panza. Like, the deck name Panza refers to a land destruction archetype, and it's named after an Italian sandwich, I think. Is it an Italian sandwich? Clawblade is like somewhat description. It's got birds and it's got swords in it. It's a calzone. There you go. It's a deep fried calzone. There, that's close. I had the Italian part right. I had the Italian part right. Dirty Kitty. At least Dirty Kitty has a cat in it. Like, you expect the deck named Dirty Kitty to, like, have a cat card in it. Oh, let's stand up for a little bit. It's been a while since we've done a really long stream like this, chat. I've been signing off after 6 and 7 hours the last couple weeks. I'm getting soft. Yeah, put the nose to the grindstone. Opponent must be having connection issues or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, Nick Fit, that's another good one. Nick Fit got its name from a typo. I think if they time out here, they're dead. Nope. Is it one more? I think they timed out twice. Aren't they supposed to lose after they time out twice? Or am I forgetting? Team America. Sultai Delver. Team America. Team America isn't even a Jeskai deck. What a name. What a name. Tin Fins. Tin Fins is one of the most excellent deck names ever. It's like an inside joke instead of an inside joke. Thanks for the half a year of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back, Spherical Man. Tron refers to the cartoon Voltron, where you had to assemble different things together to unlock superpowers. Because Tron in Modern refers to a deck that's looking for 3 specific lands that combine together to give you way too much mana. We did it, chat! We made it to Platinum! Maybe we'll hit Mythic this season. That would be exciting. Before we dive into the next matches, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here streaming different strategy games, 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week on release weeks like this. As always, I'd love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, here check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. BCW Supplies are the only ones I trust to protect my paper Magic the Gathering cards. If you head on over to bcwsupplies.com, you can use code Jeff10 to save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories there with them. Cardsphere.com is a wonderful peer-to-peer trading network that would love to help you turn your cards into other cards that you would like to play with. They also have a free draft simulator on their website, so be sure to check them out there as well. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and thanks for dropping in to spend part of your day here with all of us. Remember, if you're a new viewer and you're enjoying my content, be sure to hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything. It lets you know when I go live and with what. You can also find lots more of my stuff on my website if you're into that sort of thing. Dursa! I love your stream. Went from Plat 4 to Diamond last night with your Flash deck without losing a single match. 60% of the matches were 2-0. Sweet. If you're someone like Dursa and if you're a sub like Dursa and you're not in the subscriber Discord, you should definitely pop in there, especially around release times. I'm frequently posting ideas I have kicking around, such as Sultai Flash. And a question in there that I missed somewhere. Death and Taxes, yes, is a bit of a wacky duck named Malaris. Thank you for the half a year. Look at this. This one's wonderful. Opponent's going first. I think I just bought him this Contempt. This hand's really sweet, right? I go land on 1, elf, and then Gutterbones plus Thorn on 2 into Ceratops on 3. Do I have a favorite sleeve for me? The Elite Guard 2s are very good. I like the one with the matte fronts personally. Should I be welcoming people to Hooklands? That's true. That's true. Asking the real questions. I need to set up the commercial so I can hit it. I need to set up a proper scene. Welcome back, Y-Sticks. Welcome back. Goatsy Pro. Memes as old as the internet. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. Thanks for keeping me around this month with that. Ain't got no thoughts to erase, opponent. Joke's on you. You should blindly play that ad once per hour. That's probably not a bad idea. I don't think anyone would complain about that ad, unlike some of the other ads that get mashed. Oh no. Oh, yikes. Yikes. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Oh, is that a good one? How do we feel about that one? It's pretty good. Pretty good. I wonder if I want some Vine Mares or some Nullhide Feroxes in my 75. Vine Mare and Nullhide Ferox are both pretty good against Grixis, which is probably otherwise hard for us. God, and I get to get back my Thorn Lieutenant. Value. And if they kill this, I get to get a token, which gets back my Gutterbones. Yeah, buddy. Look at us grinding it out. Think I just want to do this. Think this is better than just jamming this. So, Cavalier didn't really strictly net cards so much as it just converted resources, right? Because we technically traded the Cavalier... We technically traded the Llanowar Elves for the Cavalier removal, right? The devil right out of him. Maybe I'm supposed to hold a land in my hand in case this happens and they play Nicol Bolas. That wasn't the Nick I was thinking of, but it's pretty scary. Brutal. Alright, he's got 2 thumbs and concedes to a second ritual assault. This guy right here. Am I supposed to hit them? Maybe I'm supposed to hit them there to 6. Maybe.
At the time, Planeswalk, my schemes are never ending.
That's a big boy. I think I'm supposed to hold on to this, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe I should have sent 1 point of damage at them, right? If I'd have hit them for 1. Nah, ain't nobody got time to play around Ritual Assault. Your move, Yugi boy. Bop Zapper! Resub for the Dino Beats. Thank you for the Prime support, I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Welcome to the Space Jam. I definitely should have sent a 1-1 at them. If I would have sent a 1-1 at them, they still would have had to kill 2 things to save their Nicol Bolas. And then they'd have died to this attack if I had sent 1 damage at them. So should have thought that to attack the previous turn through a little bit more fully. Yeah, that's true too. Erasure's not super likely. Like, they've played 2 Erasures and only 1 Soot. Grixis and dying with 3 cards in hand. Name a more iconic duo. I'll wait. Alright. Duress sounds great. Veil of Summer sounds great. Dreadhorde potentially sounds great. I think I'm trimming Contempt here. How do we feel about just cutting Llanowar Elves? Is that crazy? What do we think about that? Leaves me on 27 creatures. I think I like the look of this. Hey, Phenomenon. Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Veil of Summer is super strong. Ashenor, thank you for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This is a hand. This is a hand. This is a hand. What am I tossing back here? How greedy is it to toss back a land? I think it's a land or it's Ceratops. I think it's a land or it's Ceratops. I think it's the 4-drop. I probably should have played the Swamp, whatever. And this is one of the reasons why the London Mulligan is so good, is because in games like this, you always get to feel like you made decisions. Like, I had a meaningful choice this game regardless of what else happens, right? That's why it's... Veil does counter discard. Well, so I'm actually just gonna go ahead and cycle this here, because if I drew a trophy here, I could trophy in response to my own trigger. Are we dead? I think we're dead. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Bedevil there and hope to just hit like another dino. That might have been the line. Cry's a good one to know about. Cry is definitely a good one to know about. don't know that it really changes much. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Cry's pretty okay with us. Do we want small Vraska now that we have some more low-cost dudes and Gutterbones? Maybe? I can see that. Can see that being okay. Temple looking a little awkward here. Temple of Tilt. Temple of Tilt. I went ahead and played the Growth Chamber here on 2 rather than... Like, if they have Thought Erasure into Cry, we're going to be in a bad spot. That is, assuming we don't hit the untapped lands. Fredwick, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate the support. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Huh? I think that actually stays there. And this is why this card's so good, is that when it's not... Oh, I'm dumb. This doesn't... Reading the card, I was about to say it's good because it always draws a card. It only draws the card if they... Okay, the floor on this card is lower than I thought. It's not that good. Yeah, that's definitely much worse than I was expecting. All right, less high on that card. Yeah, the floor is in the basement. Yep.
The immortal Nicole Bolas will be your...
All right, onward, upward, back, and forth. Thankfully, we are currently enjoying the loving embrace of the Plat 4 rank floor, so no harm, no foul. Cozy, cozy Plat 4. Yep, exactly. I don't even think that's true. Blue is the color. I think sweepers, when they draw exactly the right ones in the right spots, are good against us. But I think our deck is actually exceptionally good against spot removal. I think we have a lot of cards that like line up pretty okay against spot removal, whether they're Growth Chamber Guardian or Thorn Lieutenant or Gutterbones. It's like explicitly the sweepers that give us a hard time, which, because the Veil of Summer doesn't always draw a card, maybe I do want 4 Duress and only 2 of those, because Duress lets us punch through sweepers, which is nice. Sculpt the planner on what's in their hand. It's okay. Maybe if I'm going up to 4 of these, I don't want 2 of this card, because having more expensive cards stuck in my hand after I play these tends to be bad. Basic Mountain. Drawing the second Midnight Reaper against Basic Mountain sounds terrifying. That being said, Rotting Regisaur is probably pretty good against Basic Mountain. Hoping to run off a couple of land drops here. Main deck Lava Coil. That implies something more mid-rangey or controlling, perhaps? They do have mismatch mountains. That is very... I'm not surprised that you observed that, Marty. Alright, well, we're not going to have a hand very soon, but we are going to have 2 7/6s, so let's go. This card doesn't trample. I'm kind of disappointed that this card doesn't trample. How much do you need for 3 mana? All of it. I think I'm actually just gonna trade here. I think I'm fine with this 1-for-1 trade. Perfect. Huh. Do I have Midnight Reaper here or do I Regisaur again? I think I just Regisaur. Big dumb. This card can just be card. Look at that. We get to run back the line from last turn. Been subbed for over a year and watching for who knows how long. Sincerely hope you keep up the good work. Thanks for the 13 months, Tantrums. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna run back this block here. And my opponent's like out of cards at this point. They're about to play a bunch of cards that generate value. Midnight Reaper plus Cavalier is awesome. We get to sacrifice a card like Llanowar Elves, draw a card, kill something. And then Cavalier picks back up the Regisaur. It's returns a creature converted mana cost 3 or less when it dies. And like, they have to kill this, right? Because it's a 4/5 with lifelink. But if they kill it, I get another 7/6. So like, kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. Isn't going to be a good scene for them. If they attack, I'm going to run the no blocks here. This is my 4/5 with lifelink. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Disfigure sounds good here. Probably don't mind Pulse. I don't know if I want a 4th trophy. So they are almost certainly a Goblin Chain Whirler deck, right? So I probably don't want these elves. Do I want some Cruelties or do I want a 4th trophy? I'm gonna trim a Midnight Reaper. This card's like fine in some spots, but it's probably not so good that I can afford to draw 2. Yeah, the whole Cavalier cycle is good, but the black and the white ones I think are my picks for the best of them. So I guess I meant to announce this yesterday, and then it slipped my mind today. And I don't want to cause a riot in Twitch chat by announcing this, but so a week from today, on July the 10th, I'm gonna be playing in the draft version of Twitch Rivals. It's arena, but it's limited. And I mentioned this in the subs Discord, so this isn't a surprise to people that were in there, but I haven't mentioned it on stream. I'm going, who even are you? Listen, chat, there's only 20 teams of 2 playing in this thing, and they're putting up like 25 grand in prizes. So like, I can learn to draft for that much money. And by learn to draft, I mean I get to have a teammate, and MTG Nerd Girl has a strong back when it comes to limited. So she's gonna hopefully pick us up and carry us across the finish line. We're gonna Discord her in, and she can help me build my draft decks. I think I bottom these and keep these. So do you know how to draft one? So I know that a lot of people won't believe this, but for a long time, the only Magic I ever played was limited. We didn't have money to build fancy constructed decks growing up. We pretty much just drafted with friends. The event is M20 draft. Thaltos, thank you for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And I think Monday next week, we're we're gonna go ahead and I think she's gonna Skype in on, or Discord Skype in. Skype is kind of like a verb like Google. She's gonna call in and we're gonna do a draft or two together Monday afternoon. Yeah, I think the Scrylands are great. I know they're awkward sometimes in aggressive decks like this, but... Yeah, so the event is weird because you can't draft against other people on Arena. It's basically, I heard someone compare it to like a home run derby because like the way it works is you draft your decks in the Arena queue and then you just compare queue scores to other people. You're not actually playing against other people in the event. It's structured weird. No, the Twitch Rivals tournaments are things that are run through Twitch, and the people at Twitch invite people based on viewer counts, right? So the people at Twitch know I'm one of the bigger Magic streamers, so they invite me to their things. And I can play Magic okay, contrary to what some people will tell you, so like, if Nerd Girl just helps me, like, draft my decks on the day of the event, I can play them well enough. So the fact that it's a team event is a really big boon to me, so that's great. Goblin Ringleader. This thing's about to bury us in cards. Well, you can't direct challenge with 40-card decks. In fact, the top 4 of the event is weird. The top 4 of the event is like super sealed. So what they're doing is they're having people build constructed decks with the cards they drafted in 3 drafts, which is strange. And you'll like build a 60 card deck from what you drafted in the 3 drafts. Yeah, it's an interesting workaround. Unfortunately, they lava coiled our Regisaur, so if they kill this, I'm not gonna get a 7/6. It's just another viewer submitted deck, yep. That's, well, I mean, they don't even have good attacks here, right? Ooh, that's a piece of candy. Huh. So I just, like, go tapped land, Regisaur, go? I think I just go tapped land, Regisaur, go, right? It doesn't have Vigilance. I feel like anybody comparing this to Batterskull has never played with Batterskull against an aggro deck. Batterskull is much better than this here. Good lord. And we're dead. Yikes. Ringleader is a messed up card. It's real good. Oh gosh, they have Ember Hauler and Crater Maker? Woof. Did they hit Lava Coil here? They must have hit Lava Coil, right? Or Lightning Strike? Oh, they can have, nope, Volley Veteran is 3, or 4 reduced to 3. It's like a Shock or a Lightning Strike. Another Lava Coil, sure. We basically need to draw our second Cavalier here. And this, you know, this game was not terrible, especially if you consider the fact that I mulliganed to 5 this game. Like, gave it our college best. If we hadn't gotten buried by 4 ringleaders, we probably would have been in this game. Yep. Alright, that's good enough. Cat meows when you concede. Oh. They have a bunch of lava coils. I'm gonna cut this pulse and leave this trophy in. Buddy is upset that we lost. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. Has anybody else noticed a frame rate slowdown with yesterday's patch? I feel like a bunch of my animations are lagging when they weren't lagging before. Yep. Okay, good. Excellent. Not my computer, not wine. I didn't notice a slowdown last time, but they've had some really big slowdown issues this time. I play on a dumpster. I do not have a dumpster computer. Got a real good one of them here. Yeah, like when you consider my frame rates are chugging, I have an i7 and a 1080 GTX in my computer. Like, my system is extremely overkill for what this game is. Yes, that is exactly how, Mageologist. If you have something that you'd like to see played on stream, submit it using the form on the website. And then every other day or so, I send emails out in the evenings. Arena runs very well through wine. 99.9% of the arenas you see streamed on my channel is being played through wine. So, if you haven't tried setting it up under wine on OS X, I'd highly recommend giving it a try. Way more convenient than booting into Windows. Generally speaking, operating systems will tell you if the computer's getting too hot and should be restarted. You know what game is great and runs natively on OS X? Underlords is wonderful. Ceratops is like a little bit medium against the lava coil deck. Did Jeff get a secret Valve sponsorship? Fun fact, it is against the law for you to take money from someone as a creator and not disclose that you are taking money from them. So Valve doesn't sponsor any creators as far as I'm aware. So I just like Cavalier of Night and throw Thorn Lieutenant at Chain Whirler here. This attack lets them kill it if they have a shock, but I think that's fine. You can attack and see if they double block. So I could do that, but I'd much rather get my 4-5 down this turn. I just want to get my 4-5 down ASAP so I can start life linking and closing the game out. And if I attack and they double block and I removal, I don't get my 4-5 down then. I agree. The animation is incredibly satisfying. It's like, all right, attack for 9. I don't know what that card does, Time Lord. I think this is one of my favorite Flame Tongue Kavu variations we've had recently. The body on it is really good. I wonder if they have a lava coil here to finish off Cavalier of Night. Nope. Don't mind me, just going to 27. Don't mind me, just going to 27. That felt like pretty reasonable overall. I kind of like the more aggressive slant that we ended up at here. Thoughts on what's going on in this specific configuration? I feel like someone had mentioned 4-mana Vraska, and I had cut them from the initial list that was higher curve, but with this lower curve, especially with things like Gutterbones, I could see that being reasonable. Like, maybe 4-mana Vraska is better than Vraska's Contempt in this main deck, just because our deck is more aggressively slanted now. She also kind of synergizes with Midnight Reaper, which is nice. So, Volpert, all of the decks that get posted as a screenshot there, you can also find on my Stream Decker page. And maybe I'll add a link to that Stream Decker page to the channel description. There's a reason why I'm using Contempt over Cruelty at the end. Yeah, mana efficiency. I didn't think my opponent's deck was likely to make it, was likely to have Planeswalkers, so I just wanted to be mana efficient. As to, someone asked about the order decks get played in. Decks always play in the order they appear in the deck queue, pretty much. And remember, if there's a deck in the deck queue you'd like to see a little bit sooner, for every 100 bits you cheer or dollar you donate, it moves that deck up in the queue by a point. So if there's something you'd like to jump up to see a little bit sooner, you can, you're always welcome to do that. The people that support my content dictate what we play and when we play it. Move on to some abs.